Your question is, in which book does a character always stash his skateboard in a bush? That is the correct answer. 5 points for Team A. Okay, Team B, your question. In which book was a character reading a book called Flipping for Fondues? That is the correct answer. 5 points for you guys. Okay, Team A. In which book does a character use a phone that you can't dial yourself? That's the correct answer. 5 points for you guys. Okay, Team B. In which book was a character studying for his master's degree and taking a class in human development?
Still talking by independence.
That's the correct answer. Okay, Team A. In which book do characters expect to see bright yellow writing instruments hanging like berries from every tree and shrub? That is the correct answer. Okay, Team B. In which book does a character compare another character to his daughters when she disagrees with him?
Black Stars Are Down by Side.
That is the correct answer. Okay. Team A. In which book does a character like to stretch out among thorns at night to look at the stars? That is the correct answer. All right, Team B. In which book does a character call a baby a, quote, short terrorist?
Let's see if this one will finally.
Team. That is the correct answer. You guys get to steal. Okay. So Team A, it's your question. In which book does a character have a wife and son in England?
There we go.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. Your chance to steal. In which book does a character have a wife and son in England? I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer was Iron Thunder. In which book do characters have secret meetings? That is the correct answer. In which book do characters have an incident with a bull? That is the correct answer. In which book does a character use his knee to break another character's worst habit? That is the correct answer. In which book does a character recite a poem and count backwards from 1,000 to keep awake? That is the correct answer.
Wait, what's this question?
In which book does a character say it's National Take a Doofus to Lunch Day? That is the correct answer. In which book does a character see a huge permanent red marker poking out of the top pouch on a backpack? That is the correct answer. Wow, you guys are good. In which book is a character invited to dinner even though the characters inviting him haven't even had breakfast yet? I'm sorry, that is incorrect. You have a chance to steal. In which book is a character invited to dinner even though the characters inviting him haven't even had breakfast yet? I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It was I Grain the Brave by Fondue. Okay, Team A. In which book does a character's yard have overgrown grass because it provided a healthy habitat for birds and insects? That is the correct answer. Okay, Team B. In which book did a character's father have a photograph taken in a studio before he left? All right, that is the correct answer. All right, Team A, this is your final question. In which book is there a character with writer's block? That is the correct answer. Good job. And the final question goes to you. In which book does a character ask a teacher if he can log on to eBay? I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Can you steal? Do you need the question repeated or do you know?
Yes.
What is it? I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It was Shoeless Joe and Me by Dan Gunn. Dude, you're lucky that you is the winner today. 48 to 35.
Zip it, Scoop.
No.
Hey, but you guys